Hello everyone, you have come to Tata Comic Preview channel. Let read together. Have fun. Yanemo was pissed though. He was using a woman to put Zhuo Fan into a corner, but the guy just wouldn't fall. Zhuo Fan could fight him despite all the chains around his neck. It went as far as making him look bad. That's the same as saying I'm useless. Sure, all demonic cultivators were devious and despicable. While the shame of losing was one thing, losing even as you tricked your opponent was even worse. The fact he was some big shot talent only amplified the shame. Blast it all to hell, I was saving it for Wu Qingqiu, not this bastard. You're really getting on my nerves here. Yanemo fell back and Zhuo Fan did the same, placing Chu Qingcheng behind a barrier. Just as two flames came at him, Zhuo Fan dodged one and met the other with his ghostly dragon claw. As the light show died down, Yanemo was found floating above, with the blue and red snakes biting their tails and spinning behind him, feeding on each other. The cave itself turned blue and red, growing hotter and hotter. Soul domain? The fiends and the elders jerked. They figured Yanemo was using yin-yang union flame and thus had a fire soul, or the snake circle behind was his soul. When in fact it was the worst move to take on, a soul domain. Just like Impermanence 5's vicissitude domain. In this domain, one was God. Anyone caught within its range was at the whims of the user. Zhuo Fan's frown deepened at last. Even with the Heaven Dragon Soul, he was fighting it out with an expert in the 5th layer ethereal stage. He had never tackled a domain to know if he'd come out on top. And to make it worse, Zhuo Fan glanced at Chu Qingcheng. He wanted her safe, which became moot the instant the domain was activated, his worry for her mounting. Didn't see this one coming, did you? My soul is the strongest soul domain. An ethereal stage expert's true power comes to bear only when his soul is revealed, and that is the soul domain. Yanemo cackled with unrestrained pride, everyone's lives are at my whims. You'll never keep her safe and fight me alone ever. You have no chance of winning. This is the difference between our stages, this is a gulf you can never surpass no matter how freaky you are. Zhuo Fan squinted, looking deep into Chu Qingcheng's eyes as she did the same. All the captives here gave in to despair. Fiend Yang even shouted, "Can you leave with your soul?" Zhuo Fan's calm made Fiend Yang even more crestfallen. For even the cocky Zhuo Fan to be lost for words, it only showed how doomed we are. The others sighed in their sorrowful fate. It only fueled Yanmo's ecstatic joy. The punk has no way of getting out. Yanemo snickered, finding it his turn to mess with his opponent. Making a sign, Yanemo taunted Zhuo Fan with a look, yet Zhuo Fan only had eyes for Chu Qingcheng. Hi, that woman will be the death of you. You could have been attacked and stopped from making signs, but now, Yanemo snickered, time to taste a pseudo-earth-ranked martial art, Yin-Yang Inferno. Zhuo Fan held Chu Qingcheng close as the ground exploded from under them, with blue and red interwoven flames, swallowing Zhuo Fan in its torrent as rumbling explosions sounded off. Steward Zhuo. Sister Qingcheng. Everyone cried out, powerless to do anything. The two colored fires were like a forge, chipping at their target. All were wallowing in despair, their fate might be the same. Yanemo was having a blast. Idiot, think I'd meet you head-on? This is my world and I can strike you from anywhere. Feel honored to be the first to die in this move I saved for the best talent in Western lands, Wu Qingqiu. Guess thanks are in order for such fine treatment, no? Yanemo watched incredulously, the other's eyes lit up. That's Steward Zhuo's voice. The inferno dispersed and Zhuo Fan, holding Chu Qingcheng, stood there like nothing happened. With a grin on his face and 4 golden halos in his right eye. 100 meters around him the space rippled and hummed, annihilating anything and everything, even fire. Divine Eye of the Void's 4th stage, Space Crusher. Yanemo twitched in disbelief, impossible. There's no such thing. While you have a soul domain, I have my own absolute domain as well, of 100 meters. Nothing can touch me here. Zhuo Fan mocked. Yanemo gnashed his teeth in rage at the unexpected plot twist. He never heard of such a domain. The captive audience swung back from the pits of despair into the warm arms of jubilation. They were saved.
Ah!
Zhuo Fan jerked and found Chu Qingcheng furrowing her brows in pain. Zhuo Fan saw her ankle bruised. The flames came out of nowhere and Chu Qingcheng had to suffer for his late reaction. Zhuo Fan's bloodlust surged. No parlor tricks will save you from my domain. How will you fight me with a dead weight on your back? I'll kill you even if I have to exhaust you first. Crash. While Yan Mo was either showing himself off or giving Zhuo Fan credit was anyone's guess, Zhuo Fan princess carried Chu Qingcheng. Yan Mo blanked, isn't it harder to fight me without his hands, while Chu Qingcheng flushed. Zhuo Fan snickered, his eyes taking a crazed look seething with undying flames of wrath. You're wrong about something. While there's heaven and earth between us from the gap in stages, who's the heaven and who's the earth is far from clear. I can take your life anytime I want. The only reason you're still kicking is because you have all the advantages. As Zhuo Fan walked with Chu Qingcheng in his arms, the space crusher moved with him. The flames parted ways, making way for the king on his mission. I didn't attack you in the inn so that I can find the captives. While in your array, moving was also complicated. And finally, there are too many people around to act as I want. Up till now, I was doing Hellion Flame a favor by sparing you, wishing to avoid a feud. And with so many around us, it was easy to implicate others. But now you've crossed the line. So you've been holding out on me? Yan Mo mocked. The way he saw it, Zhuo Fan was bluffing all the way. Who the hell is he kidding, barely defending while protecting a woman? He never believed it. Zhuo Fan shook his head, it's not holding back, but making it into a death match. I had no intent to kill you, until now. What's the difference? Yan Mo mocked. Zhuo Fan's nasty grin resurfaced, I can waste you without lifting a finger. The prismatic dragon in his mind opened its eyes and roared. Zhuo Fan's power surged, releasing an undeniable draconic power upon the world. Everyone there gasped, with the ethereal stage experts sensing their very souls trembling. While Yanmo's soul domain shuddered and threatened to collapse. This can't be. It was the unanimous reaction. Never had there been a situation for any of them in which their souls would bore such pressure. This radiant stage kid formed his soul? How did he do it to be so frightening? Zhuo Fan, with a stone-cold face, shot for Yan Mo while holding Chu Qingcheng still. Yan Mo was outraged. You dare mock me? With a sign, the snakes behind him spun faster, blending the yin and yang fires that sent at Zhuo Fan like a tidal wave. Pseudo-earth-ranked martial art, bipolar conflagration. Zhuo Fan squinted as he charged on, his hands making a sign despite holding Chu Qingcheng, Wraith Style's third move, Heaven Dragon Soul, Necro Dragon's Screech. Zhuo Fan's surroundings exploded in a prismatic light, accompanied by a roar. The sound slammed into the firestorm, scattering it, before coming down on Yan Mo. Yan Mo couldn't believe his soul was so strong that even his martial arts collapsed. He rushed out of the way, just as the sound wave brushed him.